So over 20% of Sonoma County home purchases aren't even primary residences, and locals are buying 4 times more than Bay Area buyers. Everyone thinks prices are about to explode in 2026, but after helping hundreds of buyers through multiple cycles, I'm seeing something else entirely different. The state predicts records, but wine country plays by different rules. After living in Healdsburg for over a decade and helping hundreds of buyers navigate this market, here's what the data actually tells us. The answer? It depends entirely on which part of the market you're looking at. So let me start with what most people miss about our market right now. Sonoma County isn't one market, it's 2 totally separate markets operating at the same time. And after years of working with buyers here, I can tell you that understanding this split is everything. So properties under $2 million are holding strong, even gaining value. But luxury homes over $2 million, they're down 13%, with inventory exploding by 67%. I mean, that's a massive divergence that changes everything about 2026 predictions. So think about this for a second. While everyone's focused on whether prices will explode, we're watching something much more interesting happen. The market's actually recalibrating based on who's buying and why they're buying. From experience, these kinds of shifts tell us way more about what's coming than simple price predictions. So which market are we actually talking about when we ask if prices are going to explode? I've got to tell you, after analysing the data, these 2 tiers couldn't be more different right now. So let's look at the sub $2 million market first. This is where about 85% of transactions happen, and the real Sonoma County market. We've got families, retirees, remote workers, and people actually living here inside this market. In the most recent data, this segment saw inventory increase by 31%, but prices still rose by 2% to a median of $764,000. Oh, and when I talk about what this means for buyers later, the negotiating leverage in that luxury tier is something I haven't seen for years. But let me finish walking through those numbers first. Here's what makes this resilience so remarkable. New listings in this tier actually declined 6.5%. So even with more inventory from existing listings sitting longer, demand kept prices stable. That tells you something about the fundamental strength of this segment. Now, the luxury market over $2 million, completely different story. After years of working with high-end buyers, I've never seen a shift this dramatic. Median prices fell 13% to $2.55 million. Inventory jumped 67%. Sales dropped 18%. Properties are taking on average 105 days to sell, compared to 40 days in the lower tier. For sellers, it means they're accepting offers at just 90% of the asking price. I mean, that's a 10% haircut right off the bat. From experience, when luxury sellers start accepting those kinds of discounts, it signals a fundamental market shift, not just a temporary adjustment. While vacation homes crash nationally, Sonoma County locals are quietly buying up second properties at 4 times the rate of San Francisco buyers. But while vacation home purchases hit a 6-month low nationally, Sonoma County is bucking this trend entirely. Over 20% of all property purchases here are for non-owner occupied homes being bought as investment properties or as second homes. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's a good proportion of our overall market accounted for in sales aren't primary residences. And it's not San Francisco buyers driving this. Local Sonoma County residents are buying nearly 4 times as many investment and second homes as Bay Area buyers. So let me break down what this means. I've watched how locals invest closely over the last couple of years. They know the neighborhoods. They understand seasonal patterns. They know exactly why these local investors are positioning themselves now instead of waiting. They see value where outsiders might miss it. From experience working with investment and second home buyers, I can tell you they're not speculating on appreciation. They're creating lifestyle assets such as weekend retreats, future retirement homes, income properties, and family compounds. This kind of buying creates price stability because these buyers aren't flipping, they're holding. And this local confidence speaks volumes about where the market's really headed. When your neighbors are doubling down on real estate despite 6.5% interest rates, they're seeing something that the headlines miss. And this foundation of local investment creates the stability that prevents wild swings everyone fears, setting up the predictions we're about to explore. So what are the 2026 predictions based on the data? So what if I told you that mortgage rates dropping to 6% could actually create more problems than opportunities for buyers? The California Association of Realtors released its 2026 forecast, and they're predicting a 3.6% increase statewide. The median home price would hit $905,000, which is a new record. But we're not California. We're not even the Bay Bay Area. We're wine country and our market operates on different fundamentals. After living here and watching multiple cycles, I can tell you our patterns don't match state averages. So what's really driving this? Mortgage rates are expected to drop to 6% and under over the next year, down from the current sort of low to mid sixes. I mean, that's significant. Even half a percentage point changes who can afford what. A drop from 6.6% to 6% increases buying power by roughly $30,000 to $40,000 on a typical Sonoma County home. Half-point drop sounds small, but it brings 15% more people to the market. So let me show you the math that actually matters to buyers. So on a typical $750,000 Sonoma County home with 20% down, the payment difference between 6.6% say and 6% is about $240 per month. That's nearly $3,000 annually. That might not sound massive, but it's a difference between qualifying and not qualifying for many buyers. So when rates drop, buyer competition increases. From experience, every half-point rate drop brings 10 to 15% more buyers to the market. So yes, your payment goes down, but you're competing with more people. That's why prices tend to rise when rates fall. So think about this dynamic. Rates drop, more buyers appear, competition increases, prices rise. But inventory is also expected to increase by 10% as sellers who've been waiting finally list. It's this balance between supply and demand that prevents explosions and creates stable growth. After analysing everything from inventory levels, absorption rates, demographic trends, and economic indicators, here's what's really coming. First, forget about price explosions. I mean, anyone promising massive appreciation in 2026 isn't reading the data correctly. The California Association of Realtors forecasts the 3.6% growth statewide, and the National Association of Realtors predicts 2% nationally. These aren't explosion numbers, they're stabilization numbers, they're markets readjusting. So what do I think happens locally? Well, the sub $2 million segment sees modest gains, probably 2 to 4%. I mean, nothing spectacular, but solid. The luxury segment stays flat, or maybe recovers 1, maybe 2% as excess inventory slowly gets absorbed. And it'll take most of 2026 just to work through the current luxury inventory. Market stabilization actually creates better opportunities than rapid appreciation. When prices aren't jumping monthly, you can negotiate, you can be selective, you can actually get inspections done without waiving contingencies, making sure you understand everything about the property before pulling the trigger. Think about that difference from 2021 to 2022 when buyers had zero leverage. Thousands of sellers are trapped by 3% mortgages. When they finally list, everything changes. Now let me tell you about something that could change everything, and that's shadow inventory. These are homes that owners want to sell, but they haven't listed yet. And from talking with sellers throughout the county, there's a lot of them. We can just see from what's coming down our pipeline the next year of people who want to sell, but they're just waiting for the right time. Most refinanced at 3% or even below during the pandemic. Moving means giving up that rate for 6% or more. On $1 million home, that's an extra $20,000 annually in interest. But I'll break down specific seller strategies for this exact situation in a few minutes, including one approach that could save you six figures. But here's where it gets interesting. Life changes don't stop for mortgage rates. Divorces, job relocations, downsizing, and health issues are forcing sales regardless of rates. This pent-up supply starts releasing when rates hit that psychological threshold. 6%, mid-5s might be that threshold. What makes this complicated is timing. If too much inventory hits at once, it suppresses prices. If it trickles out slowly, the market absorbs it easily. Predicting which scenario plays out is impossible, but watching listing volumes in early 2026 will tell us everything. These predictions paint a picture of opportunity disguised as uncertainty. Smart buyers and sellers who understand these dynamics position themselves ahead of the crowd. I mean, speaking of positioning, let's dive into exactly what this means for your buying strategy. So imagine you're competing against 12 offers in Roanoke Park while luxury estates in Healdsburg sit empty for months. I mean, that's your 2026 reality. If you're buying in 2026, here's your playbook based on what I'm currently seeing. First, get pre-approved now, not later. When rates drop, lenders get slammed. Pre-approvals that take days now will take weeks then. Buyers ready to move quickly get the properties. The ones waiting for the perfect conditions get leftovers. Second, understand your segment. Sub 1 million, you'll still face competition, just less insane than it was a few years ago. $1 to $2 million, best opportunity in years with a good selection of properties and negotiating leverage. Over 2 million, you're in complete control. Sellers need you more then you need them. And here's something crucial about negotiations. In stabilizing markets, everything's negotiable again. Price, closing costs, repairs, contingencies. After years of sellers dictating terms, buyers finally have leverage. Use it wisely. But here's what not to do. Don't wait for the bottom. Nobody rings a bell when markets hit the bottom, whether it's the real estate market or the stock market. From experience, trying to time perfect entries means missing good opportunities. Find the right property at a fair price and make your life better. That's the win. Roanoke Park at $743,000 or Healdsburg at $976,000? The answer might surprise you based on what's really driving values. Let me tell you where the real opportunities are, city by city, because Sonoma County is not monolithic. Each city operates as its own micro market with different dynamics. Roanoke Park sitting at $743,000 median price. That's still accessible for many buyers, especially with rates dropping. From years of watching this market, it's always the entry-level markets that lead the recovery. First-time buyers start here, but so do investors looking for income returns. When first-time buyers do well, they move up market, creating velocity throughout the county. Santa Rosa, our county seat, has a median of around $700,000. It's got the jobs, the medical facilities, and the shopping. It's the economic engine of Sonoma County. When Kaiser's hiring, when the county's hiring, Santa Rosa benefits first. That employment base creates stability that purely residential areas sometimes can't match. Now, what about Healdsburg, where I live? Different story entirely. The median price is just less than $1 million, but that number's misleading. Under $1 million properties still move quickly. Over $2 million, they're sitting for longer. I'm watching gorgeous estates that would have had bidding wars a few years ago sit with multiple price reductions. And then Windsor's become a sleeper opportunity, still around $700,000 median price, but it's got that small town feel that Bay Area refugees often are gravitating towards. This is where smart money goes when Healdsburg gets too expensive. The same wine country access, better prices, less tourist congestion and less busy with tourists at the weekend. Now here's where 2026 projections get complicated. Everyone thinks they'll buy a property and Airbnb it to cover the mortgage. But that's harder than it looks. There are pretty strict rules in Sonoma County, and you need permits and licenses, as well as getting all the property management sorted. Don't get me wrong, there are some great opportunities for investing in vacation rentals, and we do more than anyone else in Sonoma County. But you have to know where to look. And the good thing is, we have a really good understanding of where the best opportunities are if you are looking to invest in a vacation rental. And we do actually have a website where we put every single property that is eligible for a new buyer to operate as a vacation rental in Sonoma County. So given all this, what's the smart money doing? After helping investors navigate multiple cycles, here's what actually works in this environment. First, forget about timing the market perfectly. Nobody can do it. Instead, focus on finding value mismatches. Right now, that's the quality homes in the 1.2 to 1.8 million range. Too expensive for entry level, too cheap for luxury. This middle segment's been overlooked and offers the best risk-adjusted returns. Here's what I'm telling serious investors. Look for properties with income potential. Properties in the little pockets that are great for vacation rentals, or properties with ADUs or junior ADUs that can operate as separate long-term rentals. From experience, properties with multiple income streams can weather any market condition. And location still matters, but differently from before. Proximity to hospitals, schools, and employment centres matters more than wine country views. Beautiful views don't pay mortgages when markets shift. Stable tenant demand does. Think about this approach. Buy for cash flow in an area where you can expect appreciation. If properties appreciate significantly, that's a bonus, but make sure the numbers work at today's prices with today's rents. That's how you survive market shifts and thrive long term. So armed with these buyer strategies, you're positioned to capitalize on 2026's unique dynamics. But if you're on the selling side, the rules have completely changed, and what worked in 2022 could cost you dearly now. So what does all this mean for sellers? Well, your neighbour's house sat for 147 days and sold for $180,000 under asking. They made 3 critical mistakes that I see sellers repeating time in, time out. So now if you're thinking about selling, the 2026 market requires a completely different approach than recent years. The days of throwing a sign in the yard and getting multiple offers are most definitely over. Pricing is everything. The data shows that homes priced right get offers within 30 to 40 days. Overpriced homes, on the other hand, sit for 100, 150 days and sell for less than they would have done if they were actually priced correctly. From years of watching this pattern, I can tell you sellers who chase down the market always lose, no question. So here's what works now. Price at or slightly below recent comparables. Make your property show better than the competition. Be flexible on terms and accept that buyers will negotiate. Fighting market reality just extends your selling timeline and reduces your final price. So think about the psychology here. Buyers have got choices now. They're comparing multiple properties. They're taking time to decide. Your property needs to be the obvious choice, not just another option. That means pricing, condition, and terms all have to align. So tech layoffs, fire season, recession fears, any of these could flip our predictions overnight. So here's how to prepare. Let me address the factors that could completely change these predictions. First wildcard, tech industry changes. As with much of the economy, AI is a huge driver, and that's true of the housing market in Sonoma County because so much money flows in from the Bay Area. On top of that, while many tech companies have restated their work from home policies, another big push to get everyone back in the office could make an impact. Remote workers have driven a huge demand here. Forcing them back to offices removes that demand. A few big companies making a big change can impact our market. So second, climate events. After living through a number of fire scenes, I know how quickly sentiment changes. One major fire near populated areas and buyer demand evaporates, albeit temporarily. Insurance availability also becomes a story. From experience, these events create temporary but significant market disruptions. And in fact, it always amazes me how quickly the market does recover after these temporary events. And then third, economic recession. If unemployment spikes or stock markets crash, luxury markets cool down first. The sub 2 million segment slows but stays active because people still need homes. Predicting recessions is impossible, but understanding their impact on different market segments helps you prepare. So here's what's interesting about wildcards though. They create opportunities for prepared buyers. Market disruptions means motivated sellers, and temporary sentiment shifts mean less competition. From years of experience, the best deals happen when everyone else is scared. After analysing all this data and living through multiple cycles, here, let me give you my honest professional perspective on 2026. We're not heading for a price explosion. We're heading for a normalization. That's actually healthier long term than this boom or bust cycle. Stable 2 to 4% appreciation, balanced inventory, and reasonable negotiation mean for a more functional market. And here's what excites me about 2026. Buyers can actually choose properties instead of desperately grabbing anything available or worrying about missing out. Sellers can plan moves without racing against rate increases. Investors can run real numbers instead of just hoping for appreciation. These balanced markets create the best long-term outcomes for everyone. The bifurcation between luxury and mainstream markets will continue. That's not changing in 2026. But understanding which segment you're in helps you strategize appropriately. One strategy doesn't fit all markets. So think about what this means practically. If you're buying an under $2 million home, then move decisively when you find the right property. If you're buying over $2 million, take your time and negotiate hard. If you're selling, price aggressively and show beautifully. Simple strategies, but execution matters. Sellers who accept this new reality quickly still profit handsomely. Those clinging to 2022 expectations will watch their equity evaporate month by month. The choice is yours, and the clock's already ticking towards 2026's recalibrated market. So the 2026 Sonoma County market isn't about explosions. It's about knowing which side of the split you're on. While everyone else waits for the headlines, you now understand exactly where the opportunities hide. Look, with rates dropping to 6% and below in early 2026, the window to get pre-approved before the lender rush is closing, or rather, it'll just take you longer to get pre-approved. So email us at david@BruingtonHargreaves.com and let's discuss which properties and neighbourhoods are most likely to see movement as rates hit 6% and below in 2026. Now, if you think these market dynamics are interesting, wait until see what just happened to Sonoma County's investing rules. Our next video reveals 3 completely new strategies that work specifically because of the vacation rental restrictions we touched on today. Click here to discover why investing in Sonoma County has changed and the 3 ways to profit from these changes before everyone else catches on. See you in the next video.